So, what is up, YouTube? Finally getting back round to doing consistent videos. This is because I have a blocked nose. I'm having some sinus issues. Anyway, before someone thinks I'm like on the blue light blocker nose strip gang. Anyway, finally back around to doing some consistent videos, which is good. Back into routine. Last week was a complete write-off, I won't lie. Not that there's much difference between Tier 4, well in Scotland Tier 4, and a full-blown lockdown, what it did for me what it did to me mentally. It kind of just like really took the wind out of my sails, because obviously I was meant to compete last year and the shows got cancelled, so I just did off season. But the only difference was last year I was a good I didn't start prep yet, and I mean I wouldn't say I've got ADD, but I would say I've got some form of control issue. Me trying to get this bang on 110 grams is a perfect example. Anyway, control issue. So when the plan changes significantly, or when I go from having a goal and having a routine to no routine, it really messes with my head. The times I've had the worst bouts of depression, and I mean I could make another video about this if people really want me to, but when I've had issues with attempted suicide and stuff, it's been a similar scenario in terms of not having a goal, or the goal just changing dramatically. So last week was pretty tough. I didn't eat much. I think I had a meal a day from Tuesday onwards, and then I finally decided I was mentally prepping while I live alone, and no definite goal, no definite date set for the show. Probably won't be the best thing for my own mental health. So it's not that I'm not gonna be competing this year. I just don't know when I will be. So it might mean that I hit up a show at the end of the year, hopefully if COVID is gone, or not gone, but not affecting our day-to-day lives, and the gyms are open. I do have access to kit, so training doesn't have a huge effect. Similar setup as last year. So training's not really taking a hit, it's more just the mental side of it. So at the moment I'm just kind of going back into off season. So I've used the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks as a mini cut, which is the first time I've ever done a mini cut, and probably the only time I'll ever do a mini cut. I don't see the point in doing a mini cut. You got an off season, you got diet, that's it. Or you got an off season, you got prep. Anyway, pardon me. Oh, pardon me. The mini cuts is that's my own opinion. Some people will need to do them, some people won't. I'm quite lucky in the fact that I don't hold much body fat in the off season. It's kind of mainly on my back and my hamstrings that I hold most of my body fat. So yeah. So back to the off season. I'm hopefully just going to be able to push my body weight back up to about 101, which I think is what I got up with Andy this past year. I think we just got 99, 100. So if I can get back up to that, if not a little bit heavier, a couple kilos heavier, I'd be pretty happy. I'm basically going to run this off season up to end of April, but I do know that if there's shows in September, I'd be starting prep mid-May, end of May for the September shows. So it could end up working out quite well. If not, I'll just do the same shows I wanted to do this year, next year, and I'll just be bigger. The one thing I do love about bodyboarding, I've always done it, is no matter what the scenario, I've always just adapted the goal for that. So if I've done a show and I've planned on going to the British, like in 2017, I'd competed. I was hoping to go to the British and I didn't. I just started my off season earlier, and it then led on to 2018, which is so far what was my last competitive year, but it's also been my most productive competitive year. So these things are kind of blessings in disguise. Like, for example, last year, if prep had went on last year, I wouldn't have progressed my physique like I have in the throughout lockdown last year, and when the gyms opened up back end of summer 2020, and have really progressed my physique in that space of time, and just learnt a bunch. So I'm determined to use this current lockdown as the same scenario, and I know more. My knowledge is a bit greater, and I'm just going to be more productive with it. So this is video 1, week 1 of the 2021 off season. So we will see what happens. Strength is a little bit down, but that's just because of niggles and not eating last week, really. The irony is, if I don't eat, I lose more weight than dieting. So when I was dieting, my weight wasn't really coming down, but I didn't eat for 3 days, and didn't move much, but I lost more doing that than actually being, like, obviously it makes sense because not eating is a bigger calorie deficit, but it always makes me laugh that, like, if I just had like three meals a day and didn't train, like just lived a normal life, I'll lose weight like, I wish I could click my fingers. I'll lose weight so quickly, whereas being on a diet, I'll only maybe lose 5 kilos, 10 kilos in a full prep. I think it's funny. It just shows that my body, how fast my metabolism goes. Anyway, enjoy the video. It's the first session I did in the new gaff, the new lockup. Hopefully going to be able to get my hands on some little bits of kit just to make it a bit more less basic. So if you're watching this and know of anyone or anywhere selling cheap old school kit, let me know, because I am looking. But yeah.
I'm waiting for the right time to
like, subscribe, all that good stuff.